All right, let's talk about a growing theory in the D&D community that has been given more fire, more fuel, and been supported by more evidence over the last couple weeks. I'm Dad the Dungeon Master. I've been a DM for over a decade. I'm a published author, and I have read most of the 5th edition campaign modules. And recently I've seen some weird things happening, and the Hasbro CEO said something weird the other day. And I've looked into this ongoing issue and done my research, and I'm gonna give you my opinion on what I think is happening with AI as far as Dungeons and Dragons is concerned. Firstly, we know that last Christmas, Hasbro fired around 1,100 people, many of them working for Wizards of the Coast. And shortly after that, they released a picture of some new Magic the Gathering cards and were quickly run through the mill about how this picture was AI generated. People pointed out all the little issues that you can tell it's an AI image. And they're like, hey, would you had to have made an AI image if you hadn't fired a bunch of artists? So they definitely are using AI. Then I have been working my way through the new Vecna Eve of Ruin book. If you watched my walkthrough for Chapter 1 of Vecna Eve of Ruin, I mentioned there's a room, C7, in the first dungeon. It's got a pool of water, and there's a water elemental and a couple water weirds. Within one paragraph, it says that the water elementals are indifferent to intruders, that they hide under the water. Then it immediately says that because the cultists have been bullying them, that they will stand for no further intrusions and will rise up to attack any non-cultists. Then it says that the water elemental is friendly and talkative, but he only speaks Aquan, and it gives a list of things you can learn from the water elemental. But if they attack everyone immediately, how could you talk to them? And then it says if you lower them to 50 HP or less, they flee to the bottom of the pool. But in a later room, it says that if the water elemental fled in here, you can have a further interaction with it. So those flaws in logic, those are the kinds of flaws in logic that are common with chat AI bots. I've tried to work with chat AI bots a little bit. I don't know much about it. I have not had much success, so I tend to just leave it alone. But those are the kind of things that they screw up. They miss little things like that, which really isn't that little if you're reading in detail. The Hasbro CEO just the other day said this: inside of development, we've already been using AI. It's mostly machine learning based AI or proprietary AI as opposed to a chat GPT approach. We will deploy it significantly and liberally internally as both a knowledge worker aid and as a development aid. I'm probably more excited about the playful elements of AI. If you look at a typical D&D player, I play with probably 30 or 40 people regularly. There's not a single person who doesn't use AI somehow for either campaign development or character development or story ideas. That's a clear signal that we need to be embracing it. We need to do it carefully. We need to do it responsibly. We need to make sure we pay creators for their work. And we need to make sure we're clear when something is AI generated. But the themes around using AI to enable user-generated content, using AI to streamline new player introduction, using AI for emergent storytelling, I think you're going to see that not just our hardcore brands like D&D, but also multiple of our brands. And he's also quoted in the past as saying this: I use AI in building out my D&D campaigns. I play D&D 3 or 4 times a month with my friends. I'm horrible at art. I don't commercialize anything I do. It doesn't have anything to do with work. But what I'm able to accomplish with the Bing image or talking to Chat GPT, it really delights my middle-aged friends when I do a Roll20 campaign or a D&D Beyond campaign and I put some PowerPoints together on a TV and call it an interactive map. Now, there are other people, other professional creatives in the TTRPG world that basically condemn all use of AI. Human creativity will always be better than AI. People are the center of the D&D product. Mr. Cox's opinions are devastatingly ignorant and underscores how little he knows about the brand and its audience. D&D is book publishing and licensing in that order. If you ask any major book publisher what their opinion is about AI, they will resoundingly tell you the same thing. AI is not a replacement for human creativity. And I'm not saying that they are using AI to create their adventures, but between that room in the first dungeon and Honestly, if you were to ask AI, hey, write an adventure for Dungeons and Dragons that everyone would love, they would make this Vecna book because it's basically a greatest hits where they visit all of the most popular campaign settings, they fight all of the most popular villains from those campaign settings, and I just get the vibe from the specific examples, but the overall layout of the book, it just has a very like what AI would think would please everyone vibe to me. I love D&D. I'm not saying that I'm going to quit playing D&D, but I know that anybody out there who has read a book by a human author and then read like a short story or an AI response to a question, you can feel the difference. You may not intellectually be able to point to the exact specific examples of why they're different, but as humans, that intuition that is imbued into all of us, you can feel it. You can feel the difference. And I am enjoying running this Vecna book, but it has the feeling of AI. I know that AI is a big deal right now. I know that many jobs are going to rely heavily on AI. I know going forward that if you can't operate using AI, if you can't basically have a partnership with AI, there are a lot of jobs that you are not going to be able to keep up with people who know how to work in tandem with AI. But for creative outlets, for writing, for entertainment, you know, even if you're writing fiction, the thing that makes people like it is connecting on an emotional level. It's making someone feel something. And I just doubt that a robot who can't feel is going to be able to write something that makes me feel the way a human writer could make me feel. You know, they're trying to make the most money they can for their investors. I know that Hasbro is a business. I know that in the free market economy, we are all subject to the whims of the almighty dollar. So I'm not going to short them for doing what they think is best for their shareholders. But the reason why I loved Star Wars before Disney bought it and why I am not a huge fan of what Disney has done with it is because George Lucas was an artist. He wanted to create art, and he wanted that art to cause him to live on afterward, after he was gone. He wanted that art to be his donation to the world. Disney just wants to make it to make money. So there is a very strong difference there. Even authors like Brandon Sanderson, he is a millionaire. He's made millions of dollars off of his books. He obviously wanted to be a professional writer. He obviously wants to make money. But you can tell that he is writing stories that he would want to read. He's writing what he thinks will make people feel something. And he knows that if he does that, the money will come. So I think what Hasbro is missing, what AI cannot understand, is that if you put real human emotion, real sincere artistic creativity, if you tell the truth with fiction, you're going to make money. You don't need just to printer press AI and just get stuff pumped out and just make as much content as you can because you know every time you make a book, millions of people are going to buy it. In the short term, yeah, you're going to make more money, but you're going to lose customers over the long run. The secret to long-term success is high quality work. It's sincerity. It's giving your audience something that makes them feel something. And I just don't think AI is capable of that. Now, all that being said, I'm still obviously going to buy D&D products. I'm still going to play D&D. It's something that I love, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to give it up. But I do think Hasbro needs to really think sincerely about whether using AI to write adventures, which I'm not saying they're doing, it just seems like they might be, is not the path forward. Not for most of us. Most of us can tell. If you've made it this far, throw me a like. If you want to keep up with current events in D&D or any of the campaigns I've done walkthroughs of, feel free to subscribe. If you are a dice goblin like me and you're not sure what dice to buy next, there is a website called Mystery Dice Goblin. If you go to mysterydicegoblin.com/dadthedungeonmaster and use the promo code dadthedungeonmaster, you will save 15% on your entire order. They make dice and dice trays and all sorts of D&D accessories, but what they do that's really cool is they have blind bags for dice. So you can order and You can choose the value that you want, and that'll kind of affect what's in the bag, but you won't know specifically what you're getting. But you can get blind bags for dice, not know what you're getting. I don't know about you, but as a dice goblin myself, I can never have enough dice. So I really enjoyed doing this. Anyways, here's some other videos that I've done that you might like. Thanks, guys.